Coming up on 9 News at 6, after more than 100 days of war, there is a breakthrough. The U.S. and Iran have agreed to extend their ceasefire. We dive into the agreement.
Also this hour, don't hit that book now button just yet. Flying during a certain time window could make your flight a lot more likely to face delays. We're going to show you why and when coming up. As we say, thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Drew Carney, sitting alongside Corey Rose, Brianna with traffic in just a moment. But first, Katie's talking about a forecast that does involve some high 90s by the middle of the week.
Yes. Do you know we're still in spring? So
technically,
Is summer this weekend? Does it hit this weekend?
Yep, summer solstice early Sunday morning. So it's the final week of spring. We have some summertime heat once again. But for today, it'll be pretty nice outside. Let's take you live this morning out and about. Here's a beautiful shot of mountains. Of course, always a good place to beat some of that heat here we're expecting for the metro area through the course of this week with temperatures 70s and 80s for many of our mountain towns. But for this morning, it is a little bit cooler than we saw yesterday, 53 degrees. Winds are calm and we're bracing for a really lovely Monday. Seasonal, in fact, a couple of degrees below our average high of 83. 80 is the expected, pretty pleasant. No hazardous conditions to tell you about and winds pretty calm. Now for tomorrow, low 90s, but as you can see, Wednesday will be the hottest day on the 7-day forecast. We're looking at highs expected to hit the upper 90s, nearing record values. Now this morning, we're in the upper 30s and 40s for many of our mountain towns, low 50s out here in Denver and to the airport. Your planner, if you are heading out to Denver International Airport, doing any travel today, no big issues. We're going to stay dry, not too breezy. You can see our winds right now, relatively calm, gustiest conditions up over our higher mountain passes. But for today, elevated fire danger in spots. A bigger portion of western Colorado will be seeing elevated fire danger with red flag warnings issued today. That includes Vail, Aspen, down through Montrose. Wind gusts around 35 miles per hour at times, low relative humidity. No advisories for the Front Range and Eastern Plains, and highs around 80 degrees. Tomorrow, though, low 90s as you can see. We'll talk more about the big heat that's on the way for Wednesday and next chances for any moisture coming up in your extended forecast. But Brianna, how are the roads looking right now?
It is so quiet. I love it when a Monday morning starts off very quiet. You can see it right now on your screen, 225 at 6:01. No issues to report if you're heading northbound to I-70 or southbound to I-25 if you are taking the 225 corridor. So I do want to switch things over to our main maps and get to your drive times, especially in that area. You can see that our overall map, we are not tracking any crashes. So if you're taking 225, where I just showed you that CDOT camera, you are looking at a nice 10-minute drive. All the way down south, so for folks in Castle Rock, taking northbound I-25 heading up to 225, you're looking at a nice 15-minute drive. And just a quick heads up, if you travel along Arapahoe Road in Centennial starting tonight, traffic is shifting lanes to the southbound between Revere Parkway and Potomac Street as construction continues on Lone Tree Creek Trail underpass. Drivers can expect overnight lane closures through tomorrow night, with additional daytime lane closures later in the week. At least one lane in each direction will remain open during construction.
Brianna, thank you. Right now, Aurora police are investigating 3 separate shootings from over the weekend that hurt 3 people. The first happened overnight on Saturday on North Dayton Street. Police say a minor arrived at a hospital with a gunshot wound. Officers later found shell casings at the scene. The second one happened just after 1 a.m. Sunday morning. This one was on East Iowa Drive. Police say a woman went to the hospital, but she has been released. And then the third shooting happened a short time later on East 16th Avenue. Police say officers found evidence of gunfire in an area where there was a large gathering. One person was shot and suffered life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made in any of these shootings. The Colorado Springs Police Department is asking for help finding a man who has been missing for 2 weeks. 71-year-old Donald Blackledge was last seen in Littleton. Police say he was wearing light blue jeans, a short sleeve shirt, and a ball cap. He is believed to be driving a white 2004 Buick with Colorado license plate EET G35. That information is also on your screen right now. If you see Donald or his car, call Colorado Springs Police.
A new Colorado law has been signed to help prevent men and women in jail from sexual abuse. The law restricts when strip searches can be used and also who can see those videos. The change comes after a jail commander in La Plata County that is, was accused of watching strip searches of female inmates thousands of different times. That commander, by the way, has since been charged. The law will also ensure staff and those in jail know their rights, and it bars anyone found guilty of abusing inmates from continuing to hold a position of power.
It's the good old, are we going to sit here and break down and wallow in the tragedy, what happened? or are we going to stand up and make sure it doesn't happen again? And I, for one, and all these other women that I'm speaking for right now, we're going to stand up. We are not done.
This is why we do this work. Uplifting the voices of survivors, ensuring that the change they want to see, we can help make that happen. It's incredibly meaningful. I was really proud of them for coming forward.
Survivors and advocates say they hope this new law will help prevent this kind of abuse from happening to others.
A Denver police officer accused of driving more than 100 miles per hour on highways in Jefferson County while off duty is expected to learn his fate. CSP says a trooper clocked Officer Christopher Thomas going 102 miles per hour on Highway 58 just west of I-70 in December. CSP says the trooper attempted to pull him over, but instead he sped up and led them on a chase. According to an arrest affidavit, texts indicate he may have been drinking before he ran from the trooper. He was arrested on felony eluding and reckless endangerment charges. Thomas was suspended without pay as the case moves through the court.
Denver City Council is considering whether or not to increase regulation on lobbyists. High-profile lobbying activity around things like flavored tobacco and surveillance cameras have caused concerns about transparency and disclosure requirements. This proposal would prohibit former elected officials and cabinet members from lobbying for 18 months after they leave their position. Denver City Council is holding the second reading on this proposal tomorrow. That meeting, by the way, starts at 5 p.m.
University of Denver enrollment continues to decline, prompting the school to reorganize some of their programs. The university has seen an overall enrollment drop of about 20% over the past 5 years. And for master's degree enrollment alone, the drop was just under 40%. This comes as projections for the next fiscal year shows a shortfall of up to $40 million. To address that, DU announced a restructure. They will be folding the religious studies and electrical and computer engineering departments into other larger departments. The school will also be merging a number of other academic programs. Officials said that as many as 24 faculty could be affected by the changes.
A new poll has Denver in the #1 spot, although it is not for something good. Denver is apparently the worst city in the country for return to office trends. That's according to a report by Placer AI. It found the total number of office visits by workers in Denver fell by 6% in May compared to last May. Other than Denver, only 2 major cities registered declines in per-day visits last month. Those other 2 cities, Houston and Washington, D.C. This all comes as downtown Denver's office vacancy rate increases here. It reached nearly 39% in the second quarter, the very highest in the country.
A major breakthrough in the ongoing war in the Middle East. The U.S. and Iran have reached a deal to end the war and open the Strait of Hormuz. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj joins us now with the latest. Shalima, what does this deal entail?
Good morning, guys. If this deal does go through, this would be a huge development. Of course, we know that the Strait of Hormuz is a vital shipping route, and it sends through a lot of different items, things that we even use in our day-to-day lives. And the most pronounced example of that has been fuel costs. We have seen Americans having to pay significantly higher prices for gas. We were looking at AAA this morning to see what the national average was. We're hovering at around $4.06 a gallon for regular. When it comes to Colorado specifically, we're looking at a state average of just under $4.10 a gallon. So we've really seen that impact already since this war began. Now, although the details of the deal haven't been made immediately available, it could have major implications including extending what's already been a very shaky ceasefire and, of course, reopening that vital strait. Now, Pakistan, which has been mediating, says that nothing will go into effect until the deal is signed. That is not expected until Friday in Geneva, Switzerland. That's, of course, where the G7 summit is taking place, and that's when we're expecting to see a formal signing ceremony. Now, one of the major sticking points throughout all of these discussions has been Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium. The U.S. has said that Iran must destroy it all. Now, until the two sides are able to put pen to paper, the strait is likely going to remain under several restrictions. All eyes are going to be shifting over to commodities to really see how this is going to impact oil prices. Those have already started to drop off, but whether they can actually see this deal through to the end, that is what everyone is waiting to see. Reporting live, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Thank you, Shalima. How about this? Knicks fans celebrating perhaps a little too hard, to say the least, following New York's big win over the weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, rocking the bus. Not supposed to be.
No.
The team returned home to New York on Sunday after they won the NBA championship Saturday night, beating the San Antonio Spurs to capture their first NBA title in more than half a century. Yeah, the city went absolutely bonkers. The celebration turned into chaos in the streets. In fact, NYPD says it arrested 63 people.
Goodness.
I would have believed it if they said 6,300.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild out there, Katie.
Yeah, celebrate, but you want to do so responsibly, right? It is 6:09 and it's a really pretty morning. Temperatures are in the low 50s in our backyard, high 40s out at the airport. For today, it'll be a gradual warm up, plenty of sunshine, low 80s. Big heat building as we get through the next several days, just how hot we're expecting it to get with upper 90s in the forecast still to come. That'll be after the break. But Brianna, how are the roads right now?
Yeah, still very quiet. 6:09 is your time. I-25, no issues to report. So if this is part of your morning drive, should only be about 13 minutes if you're heading southbound along I-25 and only 12 if you're heading northbound.